1900. So if they just tickle him a little bit first, CTY can blow him up in one go.
And they want to do something big here.
With Satanic can easily turn it around if Hao gets the first Laguna Blade in his face. He gets to Satanic and just hit 2 or 3 times.
Well, this could be big for Eho.
Yeah, here we go.
They can find a jump here. They do have the Thunder Ghost for MVG. If they pop it, this would be a great time to do so, but they're not going to go. So and here we go. Again, pop it now. No, they actually get down the Static Storm here. This might disrupt the Eho's fight. But YG gets on the BKB looking for Hao. Trying to chase down Hao. Hao gets good kept up. He's going to be okay for the time being. They've already lost the Rubik here on the side of Eho. Now Lanham comes out with the song, trying to set something up. They want to get rid of this Nether Ward. RTK moving in with the punches. YJ's going to help him out as well. They'll get rid of the Nether Ward. The wall's been dropped. But Fenrir now with the Echo Slam onto YJ. And now the refresh from Eyesight. The second ult comes out. 2 of them dead. Lanham's trying to TP himself out, but he's going to get glimpsed. Hao's moving in onto RTK and find the Darks here. They'll also get the Naga Siren. Triple kill for Eyesight. That refresher ult setting him up perfectly. And Ehome forced back to their base. Very nicely done there by VG. And they'll probably get the Roshan off the back of this as well. And I mean, no buybacks available at all on Eho.
The only piece of good news for Ehome there is that CTY manages to kill off the Disruptor in the end with a second Laguna Blade, but he didn't get both of them off. I think it was a Glimmer Cape play onto the Gyro that saved Hao there. It looked like CTY could be able to blow him up, but don't manage to execute it well enough. And this is going to be a Roshan. It's going to be most likely some aggressive warding if they have any on any of their heroes, which actually looks like they don't. Nobody has any wards on the Radiant right now.
It's going to be the cheese here as well for the side of VG. There's a Hex now onto your Pugna.
Yeah. Good item pickup, of course. Especially now that BKBs run low on duration. It's a lot easier to get a Hex off that is high impact.
VG, let's see if they're ready to try and go for the base push again. We saw them do about 20 minutes ago, and after that ended badly. They haven't really been back here, but now with the Aegis of Cheese, maybe VG, Hao and the gang are ready to go for it. And here we go. DDC though again with the initiation. Can they change stun it? No, Hao's going to be okay here for the timing. Glimmer Cape up. Now with the net thrown down, can they change stun it up? Hao bringing him low here. Fortification will come out from the side of Ehome. Eyesight blinking forward though. Spamming out the Arc Lightning and the Lightning Bolt, just keeping Ehome back, and they'll find the tier 3 now. So there's no tier 3s remaining for the side of Ehome. Just their last 2 sets of exposed racks. And VG maybe ready to move in for more. Fenrir, the one holding the cheese here, has got the Echo Slam. Hasn't got the Echo Slam, but it doesn't matter. FY setting this up onto YJ. He's been hexed up as well, but Lanham with the song is trying to stop this and may even want to turn this one around, but the Thunder God's Wrath coming out. Ehome on the retreat. They just can't fire into this one. They'll get rid of the missile, but the VG will just move in, start to hit away at the racks. DDC again with the telekinesis, but oh, the vacuum wall catching 3 BKBs being popped by Howard. Super life draining the Darks here. RTK won't go down, will be able to get himself out. Pipes being popped by Ehome. They just can't really dent the armor of VG Gaming, even with a lovely vacuum wall. Now look at the stun onto Hao. Or will he be able to steal it? DJ. Okay, he's got the humming missile. Eyesight moving forward. YJ incredibly low, but he pops the BKB now at the same time, trying to fight on Eyesight. Turn towards Hao, and the stolen missile actually holding Hao down there. Super with the life drain from the low ground. Can they kill him for the second time? This somewhat missed, but there's the first Laguna Blade. Hao, he's going to be fine. Oh, Fenrir with the Echo Slam. Oh, he has the Vigil to 2. TTY is getting low calibrated now. Yes, they'll find the leader. They might just lose FI. No, the Glimmer Cape. He's going to be alright here. Hao gets himself a double kill. Fenrir moving out to YJ. They get it with the life draining GG. Finally, VG break the gate, and they break down Ehome. They win game 1.
That was so extremely close to being another hold from Ehome.
What a game of just calculations, just both teams playing it careful. We saw VG go for the base push 2 times. It was unsuccessful. They held themselves back. Ehome came out. They looked for an engagement. It wasn't a good one. And then VG, after the roast, they felt that they could go for another try at the base, and this time it was successful.
This is very, very high quality play. Like, everyone in this game really did their job. So many, like, very small details that add up during these fights and make a really big difference. I think especially the support play from both teams was absolutely top tier. And VG Gaming, good for them. They got an advantage early, because judging from how close those fights were later on into the game, they might not have been able to do this if they didn't get the early racks, but they do get game 1.
Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to see what comes out game 2. I'm sure we'll see some different play styles coming out. But for now, over to the analysts to hear what they've got to say about game 1 between VG and Ehome.
Thank you very much, OD Pixel there down on the arena floor, and welcome back to the analyst desk. We have it's a fairly regular desk right now. Actually, we're back with the Malinis, and I don't know quite know what we're going to call you guys yet, because it's kind of weird. We've been an S and a W, and Sweden and Seb. It's Team S still.
The better players.
Oh, shots fired over there. Shots fired over there. What do we make of this? What do we make of this opening game, Melini?
It's kind of interesting that we actually see someone try and draft against the Darkseer and the Lina. That mostly teams have just been trying to take one and giving away the other. But in this game, we see the Disruptor to try and mess with him in the lane and make sure that he doesn't have a good start at all, and then the Pugna to just destroy them when they try and combo. So I thought it was pretty cool, but eHome actually seemed pretty prepared for it and itemized against it with the BKBs.
Yeah, Pugna was I think it was the last pick, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was also working really well for them. It did so much in that game, but another hero that did a lot for them was Ice on the Zeus. He got the first blood, and in general, he was just doing wonders. I talked to Matt, and it was like, how is he so farmed? It's really rare to see someone that fat on Zeus.
Yeah, what do you make of it, Winter?
I think the story of this game is quite interesting. If you look at both of their lineups during the early phases, I think eHome's lineup is a little weaker during the early phases against what the Radiant have because they have more burst damage, they have more with the Zeus and the Pugna. But there are certain situations that they were forced to take a fight without BKB. They were forcing the fight, so they were losing at the start. And then it came to a midpoint of the game where eHome had their BKBs. So that's the point of when they are stronger. And they started to win back some team fights. They got Roshan. And then it went towards the late game where the window went back towards the spellcasting team because the BKBs are going down to 5 seconds. So it's a very interesting shift in the momentum during the game because of the BKBs.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed relatively even up to about 25, 26 minutes, which is about when you said, it started to change for eHome. And then they kind of lost their way a little bit, and VG sort of showed a bit of class, came back into it again. Why do you think it went away from eHome that way from the mid-game?
I think it's just like what I mentioned, the power spike of when your BKB goes down to 5 seconds, and you kind of want to get a refresher, but you don't have time for that, and you get forced to defend your base, and you just have to take the fight without having enough items, and you have only 5 second BKB. Yep. You get kited around, and the spell is going to kill you after your BKB runs out.
Except they were sort of feeling each other out a lot, even though they know each other well and they've played a lot together and against each other in the past. But they seem to be sort of standoffish a little bit, almost classic old-school Chinese farming and, just waiting for the right moment. I mean, I think we waited something like 20 minutes towards the end before they actually decided they were going to fight.
I felt like the fact that ROTK had such a bad game on Darkseer, not like his performance, just the fact that he got a tough laning phase and he was really poor in that game, it was a big problem for eHome. They just couldn't get the fights they wanted to get. Darkseer is made like the biggest factor. We've been saying eHome, they always have team fight, but they always have Darkseer. It's pretty much down to the Darkseer. And they do have a lot of, like Loda mentioned before when he was here, they do have a lot of spells to follow up with the Darkseer initiation, but it never came because the dagger was so late. It was such a late dagger. Maybe he should have went mech dagger instead of going for the Greaves. I felt like they needed someone to actually go in because you don't fight Zeus, Pugna. You got to open the fight and go on them. If you don't, they're just going to verse you down. They're going to slowly harass you until you actually can't fight them.
Yeah, I actually agree with Seb a lot. The Greaves doesn't feel like it was worth it this game because it was mostly spell damage.
Okay, moving forward, looking forward to the next game. What do eHome do now? Do we see the Darkseer banned out this time? Is that going to help either team?
They should grab it again if they can. I think I don't think it was a problem. Just maybe adjust it a bit more. And when the description of eHome is actually like feast off. I mean offlane, and in that case, it really was he got nothing. So maybe they should give him a bit more space, tag for him a bit, or just gank on his lane. Yeah, because that was Darkseer was too poor.
He was, and I agree with what you were on to. Maybe a different item build could have worked. He needed a Blink BKB pretty much to go into the fight. That's what they needed in that game. Glimmer Cape also saved so many people.
Definitely.
Yeah, players are on their way out to the arena to rejoin the pods that they have waiting for them as they come out now. And we will get this game back underway very shortly. ROTK looking pretty cool, pretty relaxed. And that man's always relaxed. Look at him. He leads his team out back towards the pods. VG Gaming will go head-to-head with eHome in Game 2 with a game in hand. Just one game away from reaching the top 4. They've been here before, of course. Plenty of experience in that team.
Fun fact about Ice is that he will never play with his socks on because he doesn't feel comfortable or at home. So it makes him more relaxed.
Would not like to be in that booth right now.
They have air conditioning,
Need some air fresheners in there as well. So they'll get themselves settled. We're already settled, which means we can continue to talk about this this matchup and figure out where it might go. Do we feel like Vici got the upper hand in the first game, obviously, and now they've got the mental upper hand as well? Does that not just add to sort of, take them 2-0 and clean this one up and say goodbye to eHome, or have they got a little bit more fight in them, do you think?
Oh, I think eHome has a lot of fight in them. They did, after all, 2-0 against Secret, which was an impressive performance. So I think they can bring it back. It's just, as was mentioned, RTK needs to have a good game. So maybe if they can make early rotations that help him there, or just set up the lanes in a way that benefits him, I believe they can play off the back of him. Okay,
what about you two guys? What do you think?
I really like having a pressure lane in the off lane. Again, they've been sacking ROTK a lot, and we saw a lot of success with like the solo off lane Darkseer from Zai. But at the same time, if you have like Darkseer +1, like Spirit Breaker, we've seen a decent amount. Undying, if they can get their hands on it, I think they can go a long way to making sure that their carry is much stronger than opponent's carry.
Okay, Winter?
I think eHome, this game has to expect that VG are going to draft more towards a mix of spell damage and physical damage, which was what happened the last game. So it's going to be a problem where if you're fighting a lot and your BKBs go down, you have to have another answer to that.
Yeah, we've not seen a huge amount of pocket strats, but there's been like the odd hero here or there that they've kind of pulled out of nowhere. So do we expect that in game 2?
I mean, we were talking about like Lina getting more attention, and I like the fact that VG actually showed that against Lina we want to have the Nether Ward, which is the Pugna, which Sebastian and I agreed it was a really good way of dealing with the Lina.
Yeah. The Luna as well, not only picked once in the group stages, and then suddenly 7 times in 3 days. Just seems to have caught on.
Luna always comes back at TI. It's always been like this. You know, suddenly they start picking Luna, they start winning with it, and then it starts being a thing.
Yeah.
But she's weak if you have to go BKB that early, and we've seen like Visage own her earlier today. This game was Zeus, so she does have their weaknesses, and teams are picking up. Mass spell damage is the way to beat her out early.
Okay. So any other crazy picks that we see, either picks that we haven't seen too much of? I mean, we're definitely not getting techies in this game, but anything crazy along that lines, or maybe even anything we haven't seen yet?
I wouldn't say definitely. There is, of course, Ice in